Happy Sunday! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paladins Open Bracket Qualifiers. My name is Rainday, and I'm joined by Hi-Rez Pretty here today. Of course, partner in crime, Slick Nick the Ruler, actually. I hear they're calling you
it's been
now.
a minute.
It's been a minute since they started calling you that, but I guess they did now. It's time for North America, Nick. We took a look at EU yesterday. Some great performances there. D69, congratulations to them, the entire team. Great effort to win that one. And now it's time to take a look at NA and what they've got to offer.
It's crazy, Burrito finally starting to show some slip-ups there, but over in North America, turmoil is still the name of the game here. Zenith last week took first place, so they're sitting at 100 points. Astral Authority in second, AGG in third. Spook, notably eager not on this because they got round of 16'd by Team Zenith last week.
Wow, yeah, that's absolutely true. And it is important to note that this is a new week, so will they be in the brackets? It looks like they are. They're going to be in the semifinals now, so whatever that was, they were able to figure it out. And look at this, Nick. They played against Zenith, who were last week's winners, now going against Eager.
So they're trading out.
And they're trading out right here. This is very important. Zenith not even in the semifinals here, so that's going to do a bit of damage to their point score. Eager now against Divine and Astral Authority versus AGG, but I'm scratching my head, Nick. Where's match point? I don't see it.
They are no more.
They are no more. Let's fill people in on what took place with match point here.
So the core of last season's roster, the roster that you guys are probably familiar with, was Kusqt, with WarDoom, and was doesupz, and that was all that was left after Smidgen
and Stolzy,
parted ways with the team, and Stolzy left for Eager. And those three guys, WarDoom, Kusqt, and doesupz, have gone to Astral Authorities to play with Vex 30 and iDropBodies.
It's going to be really exciting to see that new team form. Again, they're taking the core of their team from Matchpoint, who's very successful. So we'll see if that success translates with a couple of new people. We've seen Zenith have that success last week. We've seen a lot of teams feel really good, especially looking at yesterday Interlopers as well, just taking some new players and doing what they need to do. Of course, if you want to do the best that you can in the realm and you want to do it the fastest you can, you might want to grab yourself a booster. That's right. Pick one of these bad boys up, Nick, and what are they going to get?
They're going to get extra champion XP, mastery XP, and gold. Gold being the big one, I think, here, because with the Season 1 patch, Radiant Chest will be purchasable with gold, so that's going to be very important to have a big old stockpile once that rolls around.
All right, so without further ado, let's get into the maps for today. It's time to start the action here on Paladins game. We're excited to hang out with you all. Frozen Guard and Timber Mill will be the maps banned away, and that leaves game one on our favorite Jaguar Forza.
So this is Astral Authority. This is when we get to see the core of Matchpoint perform with some other very talented guys. And see how they do. And AGG, if they want to take this roster down, that's a scary roster, albeit, but this is the time to take them out when they're brand new, when they're fresh, when they don't have a lot of practice. These guys are only going to get stronger together. First make Makoa. Same old, same old.
No surprise there. The real question is how valuable, Nick, is Torvald in these picks here? We see EU not play him at all. They don't really like him. But Maeve in combination with Torvald, Maeve the new champion after Torvald and highly contested. That combo could be pretty deadly. Looking for where they pick him up, if at all. We saw him last picked a lot of the times with Matchpoint last weekend.
And it was something that only Matchpoint really ran. So that means, by transitive property, Astral Authority is going to be now comfortable running that. Do they want to run? Do they have a strong Maeve? They're picking up Fernando, so I doubt that they will run Torvald in this game at least. Makoa Fernando very strong on this, but AGG with the Drogos, that's a strong pickup to try and bust this double frontliner composition that Astral Authority are starting to construct.
And AGG also not taking a frontliner for their first two picks, which is kind of strange. I mean, going with Maldamba for the healing and Drogos, two very strong characters. Drogos, I think, is at one of the highest valued picks in the scene right now. The Salvo getting that buff, it's just whenever you put Salvo at a decent level, it just shows Drogos is just so dominant. And Bugsy showed that incredibly well yesterday. And now AGG looking to take that off the board, but they're kind of going with either Ruckus, Barrick, or Torvald here, and that's not a great frontline option.
Yeah, they do get the last pick, though, so the Androxus and Cassie are going to be the response. Shaolin taken away by Astral Authority, so they'll probably round out with the Ying here, and then whatever other damage option they could maybe look at. If they steal the Ruckus away here, that would be pretty awkward. And they take the Pip, so this tells me they might be going for the triple frontliner to put Team AGG in a really awkward spot here because Pip is so good with his ultimate evil mojo at busting up multiple frontliners, but no, it will not be that.
Wow. So,
Pip Ying.
So they know, I think what they're going for here is the sustained battle, Nick. You know, it tells me WarDoom, he loves to play that Fernando flank class. He loves to get in the back line. Makoa's going to be able to hold that point, and Pip is going to be able to kind of flex on that damage and support role, with Ying kind of staying with Makoa most likely. And it is going to be hard, I think, for Ruckus and just Maldamba to really keep up with all that healing and damage.
As long as AGG don't get steamrolled, then I think they'll be okay, because a lot of times what we see happen with these types of compositions that Astral Authority is running is if they pick doesupz, that's like 90% of their team fight damage, and their team fight is just going to be so hard to win after losing a dousupz. So, Bubble Boy's on AGG?
Bubble Boy on AGG now. One of our friendly streamers.
One of our own.
One of the guys that you guys see every day almost on the channel. We're excited to welcome him on AGG. PrinceDannyTV will be on the Androxus. Bubble Boy on the Maldamba. Grapple on Cassie. Rovaniik on Drogos, and ElZulu on the Ruckus.
So that leaves Kusqt for Astral Thermostat match point. Astral Authority, he will be on Pip. WarDoom on Fernando. iDropBodies on Makoa. Vex 30 on Ying. dousupz on Shaolin. 2 cauterizes, 1 for WarDoom, 1 for Vex Bodies. Has the master riding there, and double wrecker, 1 cauterized for AGG.
Bodies going with a very quick run to the left-hand side. Gets bursted, though. He's in trouble, and he goes down. Rovaniik slaying the turtle, but he gets killed in the process, and that dousupz damage that you mentioned, Nick, it's coming very valuable right now. Ruckus trying to hide away. That emitter will tick off soon, and so if Kusqt has a line of sight on ElZulu, which he does, this could be dangerous territory. 33% on the objective for Astral Authority at this moment, and they're doing well on this left-hand side, but can they keep it up? dousupz with another kill is going to put them in the driver's seat in this battle. 60% now and counting.
WarDoom just commanding so much attention out on the front line, allows dousupz to kind of squeak in there and pick up these easy kills. You know, no one is paying attention to him, and he has stealth, so he can rotate into these fights off the back of his withdrawals right now. Cassie trying to sneak around the backside, looking for a flank. Prince Danny is looking to meet up with her, and they are going to be met with Makoa, who falls again. Bodies finding himself picked off 2 times in a row.
Absolutely. Going for the aggressive Makoa play, but now Androxus is a pretty good counter to Shaolin. He could reversal that planted that does so much damage and force Shaolin out of it, and to withdraw is now being used on the offensive to put a little bit of pressure on the back line. But here's the heat haze. It's going to mean that Kusqt is going to actually get ElZulu while dousupz is able to battle out and win the battle against PrinceDannyTV. But Rovaniik uses the Dragon Punch not on the frontliner, but on the damage carry, and that leaves WarDoom with the chance to capture. 1-0 goes the score for Astral Authority.
Vex 30 just moving this payload along, 98% on his ultimate. Heat haze already finding a use. So Ying getting some good damage. That's what that tells me. Good damage, good healing to be able to get that ultimate charged up that quickly. Evil Mojo is also ready to go. That's going to be very good against it. It's good against, you know, double frontline and single frontline for different reasons. Obviously, it helps you break in there against double frontline, but against single frontliner, you know, you can just solo ultimate their single frontliner every single time, and that really throws a wrench into their team fight because it makes it so difficult. There comes the Dread Serpent to try and spread out this double frontliner. The Accursed Arm on the backside is going to pick up dousupz, and this is the situation that makes it easier for AGG to succeed. Now, Astral Authority don't have a lot of damage left in this team fight. All they have is really HP and Makoa to throw at them.
Great stuff by Vex, though, to get the kill in the air onto PrinceDannyTV after the Accursed Arm. That Androxus, if he was able to fall down and then snowball off of those 2 kills, at that 1 kill, he would have been able to really apply some pressure here, probably get iDropBodies out of this fight and having to respawn. And so the fact that Ying able to heal and provide the crucial damage has given Astral Authority a chance. The chicken absolutely annihilates ElZulu and Grapple in the process, and that means that Astral Authority will move ahead 2-0 to start this match.
And that, you know, that is so worth it. I was going to say they may not even need it, but who cares? It's an Evil Mojo. Pip can get his ultimate charged up very quickly because he's spamming. You know, he's always landing shots. The explosive flask is easy to lock down. A lot of good follow-up damage with your next left click. So getting that charged up so quickly, it's absolutely worth it to pop it on that sole frontliner and guarantee that you get the 2-0 conversion, because this composition from Astral Authority needs to win quick, because the Cauterize, and especially so the Wrecker, is going to make things difficult for him. You saw how long WarDoom was able to hold down the front line by himself, having all 3 people or 2 people, excuse me, with Wrecker from AGG shooting him, and that's going to be a smaller and smaller window there that he leaves open for dousupz to try and find a pick.
It's going to be important for iDropBodies to probably continue to have good hooks, but also stay alive. He misses the hook there, unfortunately, but look at the damage coming out. Kusqt gets a kill, and his ultimate's already charged to 41%. In the back, though, they turn their attention. iDropBodies looking to finish off PrinceDannyTV as Rovaniik slays WarDoom in the front lines, but the damage that he had done in this fight earlier has given them all the room they need. 42% and counting for Astral Authority, looking dominant in this first match.
doesupz has hit his last 7 shots, so that's just guaranteed 7,000 damage across the team fight. Putting everyone in such a rough spot, you know. Taking that 1,000 damage from Shaolin puts you in kill range of Makoa or a Fireball. That sort of follow-up that the tanks can manage is why Astral Authority is succeeding right now. The consistent damage and poke coming out from doesupz is just unstoppable.
Huge hook right there by iDropBodies. Not had the longest lifespans, to say the least, but he got a great hook there and allowed the kill to happen on the Grapple, who was flanking. Meanwhile, we see J Bubble Boy here
right now,
going into the back line and getting the stun mid-air. Actually not getting the stun in air, but dying in the process. WarDoom, just one of those frontliners, Nick. He's pretty iconic in the way he plays his champions.
You saw how aggressively he was playing right there. Prince Danny able to shut this push down, though, with a double accursed arm. But you see, right, this situation right here with the shield up, you know, less than 1,000 HP. This is how he plays. He knows exactly when to throw it up and get out. And he's baiting 2 or 3 people in his face and makes it easy for his team to clean it up. And then he escapes somehow every single time. He managed to weasel his way out from the back line to the safety of his Ying.
He is a weasel. He's a weasel, and he is weaseling his way to victory so far. 3-0 goes to score.
I mean,
a minute and 30 seconds, and you know that he will be applying pressure. It just forces Grapple back. And despite the records ticking down on the shield, WarDoom's not going anywhere anytime soon. PrinceDannyTV bringing the focus onto the frontliners, but it leaves Kusqt open on the left-hand side. The explosive flask looking to finish players off, put them in the slow, and finish this thing up with a great healing potion on the left-hand side.
We're seeing there's kill potential here. If Bodies lands a hook, WarDoom, and he can finish a kill there, comes the Dragon Punch in combination with the Dread Serpent here. I expect AGG to win this team fight. The Immortal's going to keep everyone up for the time being. No shield cooldown available just yet, but Astral Authority are not losing this team fight.
That was great. That was great because they finished off the Drogos. The failed Dragon Punch, thanks to the Immortal that WarDoom used to make sure he was immune, allowed them to finish off Drogos, who was stationary there for a bit. And Bubble Boy getting pressured out by WarDoom in the back line. Going to slither away if he can, but the damage over time will secure the kill. WarDoom now, here is the shield, and he is still alive somehow. WarDoom in the background, and just the immense pressure coming through from all the members of Astral Authority have made this almost an impossible task for AGG to defend. There's 24 seconds on the clock, but there's none than one needed to finish this up and secure the 4-0 Game 1 victory.
I mean, that's a textbook double tank win there on Jaguar Falls. Double tank is strong on Jaguar Falls as well, so they find the window for doesupz to just find this consistent damage. And also, when they were alone, DropBodies and WarDoom were finding kills on their own. Makoa can put a lot of hurt on you with his combination. doesupz 57,000 damage there, and the tank's not too far behind there at about 30,000. Kusqt getting some good damage there, but he always had clutch evil mojos at the end of the round. He was always there to punch through, always in position, and that's where the single frontliner can hurt you when you get evil mojoed. There's nothing really you can do unless you have Resilience 3, and even then, it's still a crapshoot whether or not you're going to be able to survive that.
Well, it all went the way of Astral Authority this time. Let's take a look at the map for Game 2 and see where they will be testing their might against one another. Serpent Beach will be the location, Nick. One of our dark maps, nighttime focused, a little bit redone lately, but still something these players are very comfortable on.
Yep, it's similar point style to Jaguar Falls, except it's a little bit more open. It's not as closed in on the spectrum as we would see. Team AGG with the first pick this time. Gonna snag Makoa. No Maeve just yet, but we saw Spunky do fantastic with Maeve on this map, opening things up with that triple kill in the back line. A lot of ways for her to get in and get out of team fights.
That is the question. Now that Astral Authority, we know, has the value for Torvald inherently in their picks, will they, now that they don't have Makoa, look to offset that with maybe a Fernando and a Torvald, maybe a Torvald is a solo frontliner? Again, though, they go for the Drogos and the Moldamba. So right now we're looking at North America and seeing these 3 picks, or at least in this matchup, are extremely highly contested.
Yeah, so far a mirror draft from these 2 teams. Fernando and Shaolin would continue that trend. There's one of the pieces locked in right now. Do AGG let Fernando go? No. They do. Picking it up against Drogos, it's risky. I mean, Astral Authority just made it work.
Yeah.
but all things told, it
I'm
is
not
a
sure
risk
they
picking it
have.
up.
I'm not sure that they're inclined. That lineup isn't necessarily inclined in my eyes to really thrive with.
It looks like they're just trying to
frontliner.
get people on their comfort picks.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure that Astral Authority is inclined to have a double frontliner. iDropBodies didn't seem extremely comfortable on the Makoa. He did a decent job. Makoa's a great champion to have in your roster, but I know him. He is a very strong aimer. He is all about playing the Androxuses, the Cassies.
Yeah.
He can really hit those pinpoint shots. Ruckus now, that could be a little bit more of his territory, but we've seen doesupz
That
have
looks like a
lot of
doesupz pick to
success
me.
on that one.
Bodies, I would assume, would be on Cassie here.
Yeah.
Vex probably on Maldamba. Kusqt going to be on Drogos. Ying selected here for Team AGG. Fernando still on the board. Bomb King, though, is the selection. So Fernando, he may make it through unpicked.
I think Fernando could come up here if they're worried about Bomb King being able to hit Torvald a little too easily because he doesn't have that movement
I don't
skill.
think they'll go Fernando here. No.
Wow.
They go Kinessa. So WarDoom on Ruckus. Probably.
I don't know. This is going to be...
I've never seen him play anything but tanks.
Yeah. WarDoom has a lot of opportunities here to, flex on some different roles. Kusqt as well. He's one of the best flexers they have. And it will be actually Kusqt on the Kinessa. iDropBodies will be on the Drogos. doesupz on the Cassie. Vex 30 on the Maldamba, and WarDoom on that Ruckus.
So no Fernando. Ruckus makes it in over the top of him. Prince Danny will be on Androxus with that Cauterize Bubble Boy on Ying. Rovaniik on Bomb King, Grapple on Shaolin, and ElZulu playing Makoa. So looking very comfortable is AGG with their picks. But definitely, I think I can say the same about Astral Authority. I don't often see WarDoom playing Ruckus, but I don't imagine he has an issue with it.
Yeah, he can't play that kind of in your face. I'm just going to be able to get out after I commit fully to you, because Ruckus doesn't have that same amount
chickens. We don't know.
I mean, we wouldn't expect it. He could master riding Hexafire onto some of the back line. I've seen it happen before. There's the initial salvo. Hits the Ying clone. That's going to do
almost
some
20%
damage.
ult charge from that.
And that's huge because he's now going to be able to have that Dragon Punch up so much faster with 12% still for AGG. They're going to have to worry about this Drogos because he's going to be able to basically counter anyone with that punch, and no Immortal on the side of either team with Fernando being left out of the draft. Bomb King doing a good job. Rovaniik, he's one of the best in the business at the King, and he's going to use the Poppy Bomb to try and pressure out iDropBodies. Hits one, and that will slay the flank, actually the damage class on the side of Astral.
Oh, barely able to escape with 42 HP there, but he will go down to doesupz from across the map, and that's how oftentimes I'm seeing Bomb King succeed nowadays. Just literally getting in your face. He's got 2,500 HP at base and just blasting through as many people as he can before being taken out.
Great plays by PrinceDannyTV. Anticipate the teleporter. Whoa! That hurt quite a lot. It hurt to watch that one. I might have to recover. It seems that iDropBodies is going to have to go back to base again. So a couple quick kills. And PrinceDannyTV, this is the snowball we talk about with Androxus. This is what he can do. Oh, hits the BM and gets sniped out of it, Kusqt with the revenge kill.
Oh my god, that's my favorite thing I've seen happen all day. The Grumpy Bomb just down on the bodies. Oh my god, it's good enough there. It's good enough. 1-0 for AGG after just a bloodbath of a team fight there. Everyone just dropping kills left, right, and center. Meanwhile, Bubble Boy was on the point pretty much for the majority of that. Gets it capped for his team. Man, that was just justice. Immediate karma right there. The second he hits the beak, he just gets his head taken off.
Pretty entertaining stuff.
Nice,
there.
no reversal there for
doesupz,
Prince Danny.
He's now going to be finding himself up on the upper ledge, just trying to find a way to stall this aggressiveness. And again, I think everything went wrong with iDropBodies having, PrinceDannyTV, excuse me, having the ability to just free farm in the backline. And Androxus, when he's up close, he hits for 600 and he hits fast. So the issue is if he can be uncontested in that backline, the pinpoint accuracy PrinceDannyTV's bringing to this match, it's going to put Kinessa, it's going to put a lot of their other champions at risk.
Rovaniik looking for some poke damage here. It's very valuable on Bomb King as he does hit hard. All the blasters hit for a minimum of 900 plus before mitigation. Find some poke damage there on the WarDoom, but healed up almost instantaneous here. Now, minute 22nd remaining. AGG have some ultimates coming up. Cursed Arm, Heat Haze, King Bomb, Illusory Rift, and Ancient Rage are all not far off the mark, so it could be a very powerful team fight coming up here. Bodies opens things up with the pick, but Kusqt gets shut down out of the Headhunter.
Good shots by Bodies. He's going to get one kill on there, and now Bubble Boy's going to be following along with the Ying, looking to actually shatter these clones, maybe to get some extra damage, and chasing down WarDoom, who just doesn't have the same type of mobility as the Fernando, but he is still going to be going forward, and Bubble Boy will have to give up that chase unless he stops healing his team, which in many ways, WarDoom, that was a success for him because they had no Ying, and now he gets the double kill on the Grapple and Bubble Boy. That's gotta hurt.
That's just getting punished right there. He did give up the chase, and either way, give up the chase or not, WarDoom is getting value there because he's pulling attention off of the front line, off of the defense right now. He's just trying to stall as much time as he can. He gets out of combat, heals up, comes back in, gets a double kill. ElZulu gets picked off there as well, so very staggered right now is AGG. They'll probably be struggling to get this team fight, and it's a very risky maneuver for them to try and spend so much because one clean team fight here won't guarantee them this conversion. They are still about 25% of the way from the conversion point. They already have a cursed arm down, so I don't know how much of a disadvantage AGG is looking to put themselves and how much of a risk they're looking to take.
Yeah.
And they just back off here. Rovaniik gets picked off at the last. Not the worst situation. I like seeing the 1-1 here with not a lot spent. You know, go into this, you know, with your head held high. They have the ultimate advantage here because they held a lot. Scout's not ready to go. Dragon Punch is down, and Headhunter is as well. So only Hexafire and Dread Serpent available for Astral Authority going into this team fight.
Kusqt has the opportunity with Master Riding to get to where he needs to be. There's not a lot of counters for him on AGG. Really, the only one long range is going to deal with him is Grapple. Rovaniik, if he can get there, is going to be somebody that can contend with Kus. But Kus's positioning could be a little bit more superior here. He found himself on the low ground, probably not working as it typically wants.
I don't know if I agree with the double Wrecker coming out against the solo Ruckus. I mean, with Shaolin, even without Wrecker, Shaolin and Bomb King are going to deal with Ruckus's emitter shield in 3 shots.
Yeah, it's a lot of
that's a little overkill.
Focus and attention. I mean, it's 1,200 credits for your team going into that, but they do want to get rid of WarDoom, and you saw how difficult it was for Bubble Boy to finish him off. So deciding that if they can finish the WarDoom problem, if they can answer that question, they will have the game locked up. Nice inherent and instinctive reversal by PrinceDannyTV. He will find the nether steps again to reset the dash, and 45% for AGG now. Bodies and the team of Astral Authority content to just poke while the Headhunter gets activated.
Finding 2 already. Bubble Boy might get taken out, gets his way around the corner. Shaolin, nice drop down. With Bubble Boy goes down anyway to doesupz, rolling around to clean up everyone that Kusqt is poking low, but needs to get on the point here. 57 to 27 and climbing now for Astral Authority. They have to get in control of this. The respawns are starting to come through for AGG, and they do have the Ancient Rage, which is very, very good for turning around team fights where you do not have the favorable positioning.
They've got to get a couple of picks here. Rovaniik doing a great job. Mid-air slams drop bodies, and Kusqt takes one onto Rovaniik in return, but PrinceDannyTV, having slayed doesupz, has now put his team at a serious advantage. WarDoom will surely fall to ElZulu, and a great shot by Kusqt will take PrinceDannyTV out of the fight, but he is a Kinessa, and he is left. He tried to get the overtime, but Rovaniik is here to clean things up. This is again looking like it's going to head the way of AGG.
And it is. AGG go up 2-1 here with this payload push. One shot on doesupz, doesn't find it though. WarDoom is here to cover his escape. Ancient Rage still available. Didn't have to use that, so this solo Ruckus is struggling to bully his way. And that's kind of what comes with. They only have Makoa. They don't have Makoa Fernando, so they have a lot of pressure on anyone looking to come in on their point. Rovaniik finds the pick on the Kusqt before rotating out. One more shot will do it. Drop bodies takes a spill as well, and this is how Bomb King's being played nowadays. He's just getting straight into the back line and just dominating you right in your face because his shots are so hard to land, and he's got a lot of health, so players are just getting in people's faces where it's very easy to land.
And he just throws the Grumpy Bomb because he says, fight me, fight me. If you're going to fight me here, we got 3 seconds to rumble. Unless you bought Resilience 3, you're going to get stunned, and I'm going to eventually win this duel. But that is, of course, if he's 1v1. He got the advantage, or at least Astral Authority got the advantage of numbers in that last defense. But WarDoom looks to fall down here, and this is a big moment for AGG. If they can push this, that puts them at 3-1, gives them a huge advantage. So in response, Kusqt activates the Headhunter, but finds no value. In fact, gets taken down, drops bodies, goes into the Dragon Punch, looking for one, but there are 4 others, and that means that AGG will eventually push this into a successful 3-1 lead here on Serpent Beach.
Actually, all those sticky bombs onto WarDoom look like when he exploded them, it killed doesupz just being nearby. But yeah, 3-1 now, and Astral Authority had to spend on the defense there and didn't find their mark. They They spent Headhunter, they spent Dread Serpent, they used Dragon Punch. So not a lot left in the tank here for this offense, and still ElZulu sitting on that Ancient Rage. So he's just waiting for the perfect moment here to pop that. And that's such a game-changing ultimate. That's one that I will sit on for a while because it is such a huge swing thing to bait a bunch of people in and just full heal yourself to 10k and start going to town. King Bomb is ready to go, however. Items starting to get fleshed out here. No cauterized 3s for AGG, but the healing pressure doesn't seem to be doing much because they just have so much burst damage.
PrinceDannyTV waiting patiently on the backside, finding an opportunity to now snowball this. Rovaniik already takes care of Kinessa, and PrinceDannyTV is finding himself having the easiest flank job in the world, still waiting to aggress, and now finally makes a move. But meanwhile, Rovaniik is doing everything for the side of AGG. Gets 1 kill, gets 2, already slayed the Kinessa in this round. That's 3 out of 5 members that Rovaniik has personally dealt with in this team fight, thanks to the support from his squad, and of course this magnificent play and positioning by Bomb King. Cannot believe he got out of that one. Astral Authority, AGG looking to clean this up with 85% now on the objective.
Hexafire, but here's the King Bomb there. Awkward little positioning, but he stuns WarDoom immediately when the Hexafire ends, and just so much zone control. AGG able to find the win. Bubble Boy just chilling out on the point the whole time.
AGG really looking strong there, Nick. Having, I think, just a better draft and a better understanding of those champions.
That's weird for me to take the solo Ruckus. I feel like maybe that was a bait for AGG to go into the Fernando, and they picked the Bomb King instead. I mean, that's not something I think Astral Authority even saw coming. You know, it's weird to me to stick WarDoom on a Ruckus with Fernando left unpicked.
You know, I think also the last pick, Kinessa, was odd for me too. I don't think that had much synergy with this composition. I don't really see anybody who's going to help alleviate some of that pressure on
there was
the
no
side
flank
to
pressure.
deal with.
There was nothing.
You know, PrinceDannyTV, if they have to deal with an Eevee, that's one thing, and that opens up a lot for your team. I would have much rather seen that come out rather than the Kinessa from the backside, because Rovaniik just showed he's a master.
Grapple died 3 times, 71,000 damage on the Shaolin. It's because he wasn't under pressure at all. I don't think I ever saw anybody except doesupz maybe here and there in the back line, and just not able to get it done. Only 37,000 damage for this Drogos as well. So getting beat out by an Androxus and almost the Makoa in contention for that damage spot as well.
Time to go to the map screen for game 3 between AGG and Astral Authority. Frog Isle will be the 3rd selection. It's so imperative that these teams find this win now, of course, because it is a best of 5. This is going to put one ahead, make it very difficult for the other to really come back after showing that both these teams have a lot of evenness to their ability to compete with one another. Now going into the draft, we can expect another Makoa, but will we expect the Drogos Maldamba from AGG again?
It's tough to say. Astral Authority on this map.
That's been the losing combination.
They could go Torvald. It has been the losing combination. I don't know. Because of that, I don't want to draw the causation to those 2 picks. I would rather draw it to the rest of the draft. Personally, it is going to be the Drogos Damba selection. So this is where things hopefully start to switch up.
No, Nick, Drogos and Maldamba are bad. Okay,
they're trash tier.
They're trash tier. Okay, come on. That's why they lost.
BK and Kinessa for life, dog.
Hey.
There's the Torvald. So on Frog Isle, Astral pull it out, but too early. It's tough to say because AGG haven't shown that they are or aren't going to pull this out just yet. So they want to secure it. Does the Mave come to complement this?
And you never know if AGG are really going to like it on this map. Or the problem with taking it this early too is that there's risk for AGG now to really look at a counter-heavy composition. I mean, you can expect a Cassie coming in now that they've taken Shaolin. You can obviously anticipate that. But will they grab the Mave, who's very good at countering Torvald as well, and also can get countered by Torvald? So it's a nice pickup, but they go with the Fernando Androxus instead. PrinceDannyTV, that is a comfort pick for him. And so that's not a bad choice.
And Torvald's so vulnerable to Salvo right now. It's really bad. I played a game as Torvald and just getting ripped apart. Once he gets the Wrecker 2 online, you just stand no chance. Doesn't look like they're going to go for the Mave though, as they do lock in the Eevee Ying, probably to be their last selection here for the healer.
Grover.
Grover boys.
Yeah, I've seen Kusqt play Grover a couple of times. He's actually had quite a bit of success with that champion. Of course, this is with a different roster. Astral Authority taking the 3 core, but now trying to implement Vex and bodies into this. Still, I think, trying to find synergy. Will we find bodies? Most likely on that Makoa now. And will Kusqt be, who will be playing the Eevee? Right, of course.
Probably Kus.
Will Vex be on the Grover? I haven't seen Vex's Grover very often. And here comes the buff on the side of AGG.
So Grover is pretty good at healing double frontliner, so we'll be Kus on the Eevee, WarDoom on the Torvald, doesupz on Sha-Lin, bodies on Makoa, and then Vex on Grover.
And on the side of AGG, Bubble Boy on Maldamba, PrinceDannyTV on the Androxus, Grapple on Fernando, Rovaniik on Buck, and ElZulu on the Dragon. As we get started with this game, it's tied up 1-1 in the series. It's a best of 5, and this determines so much for these teams. Who's going to go into the finals? It's Astral Authority versus AGG right now. Frog Isle, WarDoom getting ready to ride in as the Torvald.
So double Wrecker, double Cauterize for AGG. Just double Cauterize. No need for the Wrecker here from Astral Authority right out of the gate anyway. doesupz might be picking that one up later, but I don't know if I like the Buck into the Torvald here. Whoever Buck is looking to jump in on, just drain. Oh, that's why they didn't pick up Wrecker right there.
Yep.
That right there. Just immediately draining that Torvald shield. Torvald is so effective at doesupz picking up the Buck immediately. So not only do I not like Buck versus Sha-Lin, but I don't like Buck versus Sha-Lin with a Torvald bubble around the Sha-Lin.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not going to be a good one going. 2,000 HP going to be added on, and we can take a look at Torvald's loadout when we have a chance just to see what other types of cards he's going to be running here. This is the typical build we saw. Time Shaper, Hearth Warder. He's also got Scribe's Wit to reduce the cooldown of Runic Blast, being so important for the silence and the disarm that provides. Trying to use it there onto the Buck. He's going to be jumping away, but right now this is all Astral Authority.
Away.
See you later, Shield. And Fernando now forced to just Flame Lance and dodge out of there. Grapple kind of shaking his head as to how he's going to get on this point and have a lifespan.
That was dominant. So they're saving, AGG's saving grace later is that their Wreckers are going to be higher level. They'll hopefully be able to destroy this Torvald shield a little bit easier, so he can't do that. He's going to be forced into situations where he has to recharge without that Fernando shield, and that's going to be up to AGG to be playing around the recharge shield, because right now there's so much space for their item pickups because they don't need Wrecker right now. This is the only thing they would have need Wrecker for, and WarDoom is all over this Fernando shield. He hasn't gotten a single one off without it being drained away.
And if Eevee can keep keeping the flanks busy, the damage champions busy, Kusqt doing a great job as well. If Drogo's eyes aren't on Torvald, he's going to have a field day. That's what they need to deal with him. But Kusqt's been in the backline so often that has been so difficult for this Drogo's as he slays ElZulu with the great behind the back shot. 2 for Kusqt in a row, and he's blinking, looking for more.
Where was Kuss's Eevee back in the day? Now Fernando trying to hold things down, but just getting away from this Torvald. He doesn't want any part of it, shield or not. 1 minute and 26 seconds remain here as Astral Authority approach the final few feet of this payload push, and the impale to get Fernando away. They don't even have the chance for the contest.
That was the ultimate from Torvald being used to basically just secure, Nick, the push. And how important is that? I mean, it changes the game when you're talking about these tight overtimes as well. Torvald in the lineup is a whole different thing that teams really need to learn how to deal with.
It just blows everyone off the point, and you know, it can take them off the map at almost any stage of the game on Frog Isle. That's why I think we saw it come out so early on this map, because if anyone's inclined to pull it out, it's going to be on Frog Isle. And just like we talked about the Evil Mojo, that's definitely worth popping. This even more so, because Hyper Beam charges incredibly quickly just because of the consistency of Torvald's damage in a team fight. You know, it's not exactly hard to keep that beam locked onto your target. It's just a matter of getting there to do so.
Bubble Boy getting cauterized too whenever WarDoom is near. And look at this, Vex 30 just zoning out with these axes. They can do so much damage, and the ability of Grover to just vine close to his teammates with the comms they have, if they're ever in trouble, is going to be so valuable. The huge flank comes through, a nice anticipatory withdrawal coming in from doesupz, and that's going to mean that the slay goes down to PrinceDannyTV, and that's going to mean after the Buckwild ultimate is popped, Rovaniik will find the dead. The follow-up there, however, onto ElZulu after he gets the kill on the WarDoom is a decent trade for AGG, but not what they're looking for here, especially with Kusqt in the background and doesupz firing those Shaolin arrows.
They trade 2 ultimates for 2 Hyper Beam, or not Hyper Beam, Heat Haze and Whirlwind traded out for Buck Wild and Dragon Punch, and still coming out on top. Long range Accursed Arm gets nothing, so make that 3 ultimates now spent for AGG. Astral Authority in total control of the point. doesupz is so hard to bring down, 2150 health. He's running that basically based off a loadout, and then the Torvald bubbles on top of that, and the team's response, how quickly they were able to get there. There's a Dread Serpent that's way off the mark, so just AGG falling apart right now.
Shaolin able to, you know, take this, taking Swagger, making him a little bit more, really just sustainable, right? In some of these 1v1s, especially with Buck, but also Skewer too.
Here he goes. He's gonna clean this up.
The reveal, Nick. I mean, that's very important. Hitting that second shot, usually hit the 1, and then you're looking to follow up on the kill with the second. He's gonna have them revealed for 2 seconds there, which I don't mind at all. And of course, Wanderlust is gonna make sure that Shaolin is as fast as possible. Gets done though by Bubble Boy, trying to keep his team alive, doing everything that he can, but Planet is gonna zone him out as well. Astral Authority playing like a team.
This is a really bad round from AGG in terms of their ultimate uses. That Fernando ultimate just saves him. The Dread Serpent misses. It's off the mark totally. It's after the payload is captured, so finds nothing. Immortal buys, you know, that minimum 4 seconds for Fernando. He goes down immediately after. Hyper Beam positioning is flawless right now. There goes Fernando off the map, back in the spawn room, creating space. It was a little bit early, but I wouldn't have been able to resist that either.
I mean, come on, it was beautiful. He thought he could have gotten 2 there as well. I don't mind that idea. Now look at this. He's not even scared of this Drogos. Maybe WarDoom a little bit too aggressive, but no.
Maybe he wasn't too early.
That perfectly because they know they just needed to buy a couple more seconds, and they got themselves the win.
Yeah, the defender respawn time is 12 seconds at that point in the game. So he just buys enough time. That Fernando is nowhere seen on the field, and then he pushes everybody back into spawn, and then he just puts his body in front of it. Says, where you going? What you doing?
Where you going, Doc?
Trying to get that suit jacket off the chair?
Not through me. Not through me.
So doesupz, baby. 47K.
Great stuff by him. And the entire team. I mean, they all played very well. This seemed like everyone was kind of firing on all cylinders finally. But the Torvald pick and Cuss on, not the Kinessa, but on a champion there where he's not playing defensive, he's more offensive, seemed to be huge differences for me.
And it's something that he can play. It's something that he didn't play. Smidgen always used to play that back on the match point roster, but with these bubbles, maybe this gives Kusqt the confidence he needs to pull out the EV more often. Maybe this is just something he realizes he needs to be able to play for his team. Every team should have a good EV. Haven't seen any Maeve play yet today in North America. So EU favoring the Maeve, NA taking the Torvald.
Let's move on to the next map, because now Team Astral Authority have the lead against AGG, and it will be a fan favorite, Ice Mines. Next map for both of these teams to clash on, notorious for being incredibly difficult to push and very, very easy and advantage for defenders to defend here. But if they have that kind of snowball team comp again, Nick, and the champion select we'll be heading to in just a moment, it could be another 4-0 if things don't go right.
It has, you know, Astral Authority have shown that they can snowball a game. I mean, Frog Isle, that looked like a Burrito win right there on Frog Isle. Burrito always are able to find wins on Frog Isle, and it feels like 10 minutes or less is their Pizza Man guarantee for that map. AGG with the first pick here. It's going to be the Makoa. Astral Authority here. Will they pull out the Torvald? I mean, I felt like that was very impactful.
Yeah.
I
felt like that too. I really liked it.
But part of that, I think, comes off the back of A, it's Frog Isle, B, they cornered AGG into having just Fernando, and Torvald is super effective against Fernando's shield.
That's right.
They don't have to buy any records. They get to spend it all on damage mitigation. None of the flankers can find. It was just a chain reaction, right, off the back of that Torvald pick on that. So Makoa still the first pick here. Astral Authority have, this whole series has gone Makoa, Drogos, Damba.
Yeah.
The first 3 picks.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to continue to be that way.
Drogos and Damba just working together, kind of the pair that NA seems to be favoring. And it's not just NA, it's the matchup specifically that we're finding them to be super valuable in. Another key component for this lineup as well, when we talk about Torvald against Fernando, that's incredibly impressive. But Torvald against Makoa, actually one of the front lines, if not maybe the best front line at countering him specifically.
Yeah, it's not a great matchup for Torvald. A, because Makoa can go into Wrecker and being the hardest hitting tank. Well, you know, Ruckus and him are about the same, but they're both effective with Wrecker is the moral of the story here. and he can just box him out with Wrecker 1 or Wrecker 2. Makoa is more often than not going to win that trade. You know, there's zero mobility on the side of Torvald, so Makoa has the option to get out, hook Torvald into a bad spot, a lot of things. And then Ancient Rage, I mean, Ancient Rage is Ancient Rage. It's not super great against Torvald, but you will still win. If it comes to that, if push comes to shove, you can win the 1v1 there with Ancient Rage. Fernando, Cassie, the next two selections for AGG.
And this is what kind of is going to tell a lot about Astral Authority and where they want to go. They take the Ruckus again. I don't think AGG... Well, now, here, you know, they took the Ruckus in a similar spot, Nick, and they were hoping, I think, AGG took the Fernando. Now, will they follow up with their damage and their healing in line with another Torvald, or will they look to maybe supplement this?
I think Torvald could be good
with,
right now.
You know, we see Eevee was really good for them. I mean, they have the flex options, right? If AGG go for something a little bit more stationary, you know, Victor sometimes played on this map, can contribute if he's able to hang up in that balcony and do a ton of damage. We saw Maki like to play that style. Bomb King, though, selected, and this could give Astral Authority, okay,
that makes it tough.
That Bomb King kind of wrecked us last game. Maybe no Torvald this time.
Yep, so the King Bomb ultimate destroying all shields is going to just find a lot of value against the Torvald. It's going to take him, stun him out, 3-4 bombs to follow up with.
No movement skill.
It's a guaranteed kill for the King. Astral Authority, I think they're stalling on this last pick now, so I think they kind of maybe wanted the Torvald.
It's a big decision.
It's now this wrench is in their plan, right? Because the Bomb King it's not super common either. So when that pops up, you got to be like, all right, well, we got to think about this now for a second.
And also, I think Bomb King coming here, and there's the Torvald as well. You see that happening right now. The Bomb King is a pick that can easily snowball and be the best thing you've ever seen and the most exciting thing Paladins esports has, you know, ever witnessed. But it can also be a little bit underwhelming. I mean, sometimes the bombs aren't landing. You're not hitting your shots, and he dies pretty quickly despite having that health pool and the zoning potential. Ice Mines doesn't have as much room to fly on the objective capture as probably set Jaguar Falls or Serpent Beach.
Sure, and but Gropey Bomb is that much more effective to zone, right?
So exactly.
What pros on Serpent Beach are cons on Ice Mines, but likewise cons on Serpent Beach are pros on Ice Mines.
Exactly. So how do you figure it out?
And definitely, I think the King Bomb here is going to be super key, because if Torvald is at full shield, and he's more likely to be in this game with Makoa and Fernando, so he has two shields that he can try and drain, but it also puts Astral Authority in a position where they probably need to pick up some Wrecker as well, because he's not going to be able to cover both. And
we also mentioned, you know, Torvald having that opportunity to kind of be countered by Makoa. One interesting point is that Torvald actually can counter Makoa. Like, it's really weird, all these in dynamics here, because
I haven't 1v1'd enough Makoas, I don't think, with Torvald to be able to make a clear call on it.
With the thing that Torvald can do well is when Makoa gets the Dredge Anchor onto a target, he can silence them out so that that shot doesn't actually hit. They're able to remove themselves from that fight, or he could bubble that person right when Makoa gets hit so that that extra bonus damage is just absorbed by a shield. There's a lot of good opportunities for Torvald to fight against Makoa here too.
Absolutely, and 1v1 scenarios, you know, Hyper Beam, if that comes into effect, definitely.
But he can go CC immune.
In two spots, yeah, that's true, and hook him out of it. So there are two things that Makoa, it's a lot's up in the air, right? It's going to come down to execution between those two players.
That's true.
On the front line. Hyper Beam, though, is going to be effective. There is Hazard Zone. That's fairly easy to hit on the Ice Mines point, because anyone, if you come in through the small little lodge, basically, anyone sitting on the point is going to be susceptible to that, because the vertical knockback just at base on Hyper Beam is going to be able to push you over the tower. That kind of protects you from the Hazard Zone, but it's not going to buy you enough time.
Will they go into resilience here? The reduction in Haven and Blast Shields, it's so common to take it. It's so standard. It's so safe.
I mean, against Dread Serpent, Hyper Beam, the silence. You're looking at Impale stuns as well, Fire Spit knockbacks.
There's a lot of value they could find from it. Will this be something they invest in? I would probably wait on my defensive item to see how impactful it is and go with a utility or a damage right now. And that seems to be what at least Grapple, Rovaniik, and Bubble Boy are doing on the side of AGG. They'll be playing Fernando, Bomb King, and Ying, respectively. PrinceDannyTV rounding things up on the side of Cassie, and ElZulu on Makoa.
Kusqt will be on WarDoom, on Ruckus, doesupz on Shaolin, WarDoom on Torvald, and Vex 30 on Maldamba. So two cauterizes off the back. Right off the bat here. One Wrecker for doesupz, and that should cover their bases, I think. Kusqt Doesn't need. He goes into the Chronos though. Kusqt, he does go into Chronos a lot more, I think.
Can we look at his deck as well to see, is he running that Spitfire 2? Spitfire 4, Nick. He's going for the Salvo. Spitfire 4, going for the Chronos as well to reduce the cooldown even more, but gets picked immediately. Will the shield come out? Torvald should be there. Is he there? He's not. Torvald distracted with something else, cannot shield his buddy. And unfortunately, Kusqt gets picked off. Great plays by Astral Authority starting things off, but doesupz here hits a big shot on the Rovaniik. It's going to put him back now. Bubble Boy in trouble here as well. And this shield could start to melt. Torvald in the front line, and doesupz still free firing.
Now, doesn't have any pressure on the Cassie just yet. She's sitting healthy, but Body's starting to bully his way onto the point. Stun into the planet is going to be good on the Rovaniik. The deadliest combo that there is. Still healthy. Has the emitter shield as well. Backed into a corner. Makoa with nowhere to go. ElZulu takes the spell. 2 for 1. Astral Authority are leading this team fight.
iDropBodies just doing a great job of focusing ElZulu. He's a great Makoa. But right now, there's just too much DPS and just not enough S for AGG because they need time and they don't have it. Astral Authority very slowly but surely climbing ahead in this one. ElZulu coming back in a great zone there, but he had already gotten off his mount anyways. The key here is, Nick, can Torvald keep Kusqt alive, keep doesupz alive in those clutch pull situations.
Ready. He's like look at King Bomb's at 40% on Immortal and Ancient Rage, and this is where Hyper Beam could be good if he goes into it. There it is, right over the tower, just like we were talking. But the charge back onto the map is still not enough. He goes off the edge.
Rovaniik was flying in the air there. I don't know if he just didn't prioritize the kill on the Rovaniik, didn't think it mattered, but I feel like if he would have gone up while Rovaniik was in the air arcing from that Poppy Bomb, he could have pushed him out as well, but at least gets the frontliner, and you see how impactful Torvald's ultimate is. Not just because of what it does, but how fast it charges.
Absolutely. You can see he's already sitting at 40% on the Hyper Beam for the... So that's something you can blow on the point, have it ready to go on the conversion as well, and that can get you the elusive Ice Mines conversion that so many teams struggle to find. 181 health in the backline. Rovaniik going to be able to get out of combat, but he's separated from his team. It's going to be difficult for them to rotate back in safely without getting picked off.
That's the key. Rovaniik trying to do his best, but again, Nick, is this the game that the bombs aren't falling? He's got a lot of time, but so far he's kind of been picked off. Hasn't made as much of an impact as he had on Serpent Beach. Great setup though. ElZulu pulls iDropBodies into the Grumpy Bomb stun and now puts him at a bad spot, but that shield and the emitter will be helpful to at least delay the inevitable, his death. 1 minute and 24 seconds now on the clock for Astral Authority to push this. AGG looking to hold strong. Yingclone's getting set up by Bubble Boy, and he just trying to keep his team alive and stave off this intense pressure.
This Torvald is vulnerable right now. They should be collapsing on him while he was alone, but they let him live. His team is now back with him, and Rovaniik's in a rough spot. The recharge is going to just chew through that shell shield immediately. The silence into the follow-up from doesupz is good, but WarDoom falling lower and lower. There's the Dread Serpent on the front side to keep things under control, but AGG looking like they're starting to struggle here. Bubble Boy's got nowhere to go. He's going to fall down, and Hyper Beam is ready and primed.
He's getting the recharge, getting the shields back online. Immortal comes out from the Fernando, and he's going to keep him and his Makoa alive for just 1 moment, but it's not going to last long enough. ElZulu falls, the shield falls, and eventually Grapple falls as well. The Hyper Beam is here, but it's not needed. Astral Authority claim authority over this game and take a 2-0 lead on Ice Mines.
It feels like people don't know what to do against this Torvald right now. They're
AGG specifically.
A big whoopsie daisy for me is WarDoom is alone. Right there. You know, it was a good thing that Kusqt was able to pick off Prince Danny. But after that, you know, the other 4 members of AGG just backed off and let WarDoom live. He was alone, and, you know, that's exactly when you want to take Torvald out. When he is, you know, all by himself, he doesn't have any defensive options, and you've got a 4v1 man scenario with no hazards on it. He's not going to, you know, pull this crazy Hyper Beam and blow everyone off. There's no reason that they don't collapse on WarDoom right there and take him out. He's able to live. His team rejoins him, and they find the conversion. Cauterize 2's now online for bodies. WarDoom, a lot of utility on the side of Astral Authorities. Chronoses and Nimbles all over the place.
And you know, the interesting thing, you know, with Time Shaper and Hearth Warrior, he's just going to be protecting people and keep building up that shield himself just by throwing those bubbles out. And it's going to get extremely dangerous for AGG to let these fights go because they're going to get baited into thinking they can get a kill, and all of a sudden 2k HP is going to go on top. But that's what they need to do. PrinceDannyTV slays WarDoom. Grapple falls along with iDropBodies, and now this is Rovaniik, and this is doesupz. Their 1v1 man fight. ElZulu tries to get in the mix with a nice hook, but Kusqt will come to save the day and slay Rovaniik in the hallway.
He got turned around. That's a bit unfortunate there. doesupz got hooked, actually got clipped on the window and stayed on the high ground. Rovaniik thought he got pulled out of the window, and so he lost track of doesupz for just a moment, found himself impale stun, but so much time bought. AGG find the payload. Double kill for WarDoom, though, off the back of the hyper beam.
Salvo ready in charge by Kusqt, gonna look to find it to guarantee a kill. And again, Astral Authority, actually, excuse me, AGG able to find themselves a point here in this game, gonna push back and look to zone out the members from the other team, Astral Authority are, and just make sure that their presence is felt. This is oftentimes the strategy we see with the higher level teams. This aggressive forward zone, confidently saying, no, you can't even touch this payload. We're not going to let you, and it matters.
Absolutely. Heat Haze now ready to go. ElZulu, after the withdrawal, finds doesupz here. Doesn't have planted or anything to help box him out, but he will find the pop shot over the top before being taken down. Grapple credited with the shutdown onto doesupz here. Mending Spirits continuing to flow outward from Vex30 into his teammates to keep them healthy. Dread Serpent ready to go as well. Minute 30 seconds remaining here. Astral Authority for the first time have all 5 members and are ready to get this payload push off the ground.
And they want to make this happen. You know, AGG have luckily been able to, I think, capture this despite things not going their way. I mean, the big picks early on have allowed Rovaniik to gain some rhythm. It's allowed, you know, PrinceDannyTV to gain some rhythm on that Cassie. He's doing so well in the Androxus earlier. And ElZulu's been hitting some clutch hooks, Nick. For me, you know, his play right there was what turned that last point fight for them. But you can tell that they're just not in a position right now to aggress on Astral Authority in this game. They just seem that they're not able to push through.
They're struggling to find an angle, trying to bully their way around the backside right now, but PrinceDanny gets separated from his frontliner, taken out, and now the rush in from AGG is being punished heavily after losing a first member. doesupz already with 2, make it 3, and a big punish coming out from Astral Authority there.
One of the great counters that Ruckus has to him is movement. When you can move away from Ruckus's damage, which you can usually because he's a low mobile tank, he doesn't have a lot of mobility, you're able to avoid his insane DPS, one of the highest in the game. With Torvald, that silence guarantees you're there for another 1.5 seconds. I mean, that's a big deal. Torvald in those fights with Ruckus allows
he's over 1,000
iDropBodies
DPS, so that's,
to get an extra, you know,
1,000 to 1,500 damage being pumped out from bodies in that situation. You're absolutely right.
It's a huge interaction that, you know, I wasn't really even aware of how strong that could be, but on the close quarter maps, especially like Ice Mines and some of these hallways and these pushes.
Shout outs to that planet.
Wow,
They're finding the cheeky triple kill right at the end.
Ult charged.
During the slow-mo, baby boy. Let's go.
And the point score now going 3-1 for Astral Authority. They got the push 2-0, and that just means so much, especially on Ice Mines. They're going to be able to win it here if they go and do what they
yeah,
continue to do.
WarDoom last time overextended a little bit, picked off his team. Wasn't behind him, don't know what the call was there, but he's got his ultimate. Everyone on Astral Authority has an ultimate charged up, whereas they're sitting 2 down, just barely off the mark on Scout there, but no illusory rift. Have some big things to try. And not get hyper beamed off the map here. The Ancient Rage and the Immortal both provide that CC immunity, but those are not great uses of either of those ultimates just to survive. I mean, you gotta survive one way or the other. So that's if WarDoom finds the angle on it, that's what's gonna happen.
Still a lot of hesitance, and immediately just wow, he doesn't get a kill. The Immortal is actually used. It does not save Makoa, but there's WarDoom's ult, and it just did not find the value that he wanted. The initial positioning of ElZulu was good enough that he did not get blown off the map, and WarDoom maybe a little too hasty with that. ElZulu now gonna face a lot of damage. PrinceDannyTV with a great combo on to doesupz. Bubble Boy will finish him off, and now WarDoom left by himself. AGG are not out of it yet, ladies and gentlemen. 50%. And they're looking to hold strong here. This could be their point.
So where that went wrong, Shell Spin is classified as a charge, and charges like Fernando Charge will counter the knockback from Hyper Beam for their duration, and he uses that to come in at like a 45-degree angle, so WarDoom no longer has the angle to be able to blow him off the map. Big Dread Serpent comes in, doesn't get anything here. PrinceDanny finds 3 kills there, and AGG with another payload capture.
You know, it was a little bit of haste, I think, by WarDoom. You know, they see...
That's very telegraphed, too.
They see match point.
You even saw Fernando not go, and he didn't go onto the point. He's like, all right, I know exactly what he's going to do. He's done it in the past 2 rounds.
Yeah, and they should be worried about that, and I think this is the confidence that WarDoom and a lot of the guys, you know, from previously match point, now Astral Authority have displayed in their LAN moments, you know, in other moments throughout the esports scene, has, you know, there are some problems to that as well in terms of maybe finishing off teams that you could have. If that would have worked, just wait a little longer. Shell spin was already used. They probably would have won this game already. But now AGG ready to push, and they're playing well, as you know, taking advantage of what they're given.
Salvo coming out, finding a lot of damage. Kusqt abusing that. I think that's the reason he's going for the Chronos here, is just for this salvo cooldown, having that up. And you know, contrary to what morale boost is going to do for you, Chronos does it just in a different way. When you're getting more salvos off, you're getting more damage off. You're getting less ult charge per point of damage, sure, but you're getting those salvos off and getting the effectiveness of more salvos off in the battlefield. So, all things told, I'm starting to see the light here with the Chronos pickup.
Dude, salvos up in another 4 seconds. Spitfire 4, my God. Masterful 4, Spitfire 4, this guy's abilities are just running. This is AP Drogos.
AP Drogos. I like it. I like it a lot. Long range fire spit's going to connect as well, keeping everyone so poked they can't move up. They're just taking 1,000 damage after 1,000 damage, salvo after salvo.
And the fire spits as well, just zoning. And that knockback is very, very strong, especially when you know how to hit it. And Kusqt, he certainly does. He is a flex player. He's one of the best that we've got in North America. He's continuing to try and pressure out. Up in the air, goes the salvo onto Fernando. The shield won't be very useful here, but now Rovaniik is in a bit of trouble. They don't spot him out, Nick. 139 health. There's WarDoom to come save the day. Grapple actually is going to find himself still fighting in the back line, but PrinceDannyTV now is the focus of WarDoom. ElZulu is going to come through at the very end to save the day as well. This payload will keep pushing for now.
3 ultimates ready to go. Dragon Punch, Hexafire, Heat Haze, but only 9 seconds left, so these players, they're not really wanting to try and drop these too much. AGG in a rough spot here because they have a long way to go. They got to win another fight or two to get this one converted. Mako is already sitting at half HP, going all in on that kill. The Fernando's going to fall as well, and AGG don't find the conversion here as the overtime does expire, but they hang on to their ultimates wisely here, just trying to go for, you know, it's all formality at that point, basically.
It's such a difficult thing to be down 3-1 because they did all that. They spent 5 minutes capturing that objective, fighting their hearts out, pushing it 75% of the way, and now they just got 1 point. It's 3-2 again. They've got to get 2 more points in this game to be able to win. That's why the 3-1 advantage is so strong. The 2-0 advantage, that start is so powerful. It is now potentially, again, Astral Authority's not only game point, but match point here, set point here. And they're going to have to look forward, Nick, to really take advantage of this moment.
And ElZulu wising up, picking up the resilience as well, so even harder for WarDoom. Hopefully he recognizes this and doesn't try to hyper beam this Makoa off the map. The Rejuvenate as well to try and fight through some of the cauterizes, and only cauterize 3 on bodies, so he's going to be trying to spread that debuff around as much as he can. Missed hook here. This is a good opportunity for AGG.
There's a shell spin, and now he is in trouble. Shell spin is out. Shell shield is down as well. Ancient Rage, though, they baited that, and it looks like Torvald and the squad of Astral Authority are just going to back off. He's going to get a nice pick, though. Will he get the kill? One more swing, and he will. PrinceDannyTV gets double kills in the back line. doesupz and Vex go down, and look at this. PrinceDannyTV and AGG continue to impress with the resilience, pun intended, they have shown in this team fight. 51% for Astral Authority, and now AGG finally climbing above that with 58.
They're starting to push out, and all of Astral Authority is here, so a good take back could spell the difference here. Hyper Beam's here to clear out the hallway. Doesn't get any kills for it, but does guarantee his team entrance back in. Consistent damage on the Kusqt. He's going to take him out. 3 members backed up into the mine shaft right now, but they're going to have the DPS, it looks like. A repulsor field doesn't even go off.
Grapple gets the kill onto WarDoom. Vex 30 there just by himself, and AGG clean it up and do 2 very good fights in a row, 2 great zones, and find themselves tied with a chance to win against Astral Authority and tie the setup, push it to a game 5 in this best of 5. They're playing at another level here, and now that ElZulu has a resilience, Nick, there's no more kind of hokey trick that can happen with the Torvald off the map. This is starting to look dangerous for Astral Authority.
So much of Astral Authority's team fight was hinging on the Hyper Beam finding value, and it hasn't. It's missed the mark the last 2 or 3 times. Rovaniik just going to back off wisely right now, regrouping with his team. Bubble Boy is in a rough spot. He's going to go down. Minute 50 remaining here. doesupz putting a lot of damage there, but gets punished by this Bomb King. And it doesn't, you barely even notice that you've been stuck 3 times by Bomb King. That's the main thing that's been happening to doesupz, especially at long range. When Bomb King's not in your face, it's almost difficult sometimes to get the read that you're being stuck.
And as the Shell Shield goes down from Makoa by the Kusqt pressure, which has been, again, so prevalent in these holds and defenses for Astral Authority. You mentioned a great point, Nick. You know, Shaolin, we talk about how strong Planted is, but it's often that we don't see those champions like Bomb King pick up against him that could really take advantage of him standing still. I mean, standing still in a shooter is a very dangerous thing to do. Bomb King, one of the champions that can punish that the hardest with those multiple bombs sticking and just ending his spree.
Rolling forward now, PrinceDanny trying to find something, but 2 kills for 1. Astral Authority definitely going to come out on top of that trade as the respawn proximity is pretty much always in their favor on Ice Mines. At this stage of the game, the payload is pushed about 60% of the way with 50 seconds left on the clock. So AGG, at this point, they can't afford to win one more team fight, but if right now, I'm scared if I'm Astral Authority, not because I have the potential to be converted on and have this game closed out, but because I haven't even come close to winning a team fight around the point since rounds 1 or 2.
And now that it is continuing to snowball, and PrinceDannyTV's on a 13 streak, feeling himself, there seems to be no answer. Kusqt getting picked off by ElZulu. We got to point out the great hooks coming out from Makoa, the frontline champion on the side of AGG that has really been setting up a lot of these kills. You know, we often talk about the damage dealers, Nick, but really all of that can happen so much easier when you have a guy like ElZulu consistently setting it up for you.
10 seconds on the clock here and just fading out now. Astral Authority have successfully defended this one. No one from AGG will be able to reach the payload in time. Just trying to, I would back off right now from ElZulu because you just gave him his ultimate. He was about 10 or 12% off of that, and just letting him get those couple of poke shots off gave him Ancient Rage, and that could mean the difference here. He could pop that to keep himself on the map, to keep himself alive in the backline. He has so many more aggressive options that he can take now. Just a small little thing. Obviously, the players from Astral Authority don't know how close Ancient Rage is to being charged, but you know, you don't want to do those types of things. You don't want to just give them free ult charge, give them free credits, free poke, any of that stuff.
You see, Nick, the items coming through. 1 resilience for iDropBodies, going to reduce 30% of the crowd control duration of Grumpy Bomb, and he's going to be knocked back 30% less from PrinceDannyTV's disengage, which has definitely been getting him off the point up into the air, so decides to not have that be relevant this fight. But again, what will be relevant? What will happen? It all comes down to this for Astral Authority. For AGG, for sure. But Astral Authority looking to get things started with a Dragon Punch. Want to find a kill, bait something out. Nothing is found for that one. Kusqt stays alive. Here's the King Bomb after the Hyper Beam. They're going to finish iDropBodies. It's only a matter of time, it looks like, before WarDoom falls. But the pressure is now on Rovaniik, and he's trying to get out and stay alive.
12% on the point. Astral Authority, they trade out for the Immortal in that situation here. Hyper Beam has been used as well, and Rovaniik able to box out. Late game DPS just isn't there for WarDoom. ElZulu picks up Kusqt as well. 50% and climbing on the point for AGG, 24% on the take back. But Astral Authority are being zoned.
Rovaniik stays alive after that. So important. iDropBodies now going aggressive, and fighting in this hallway could be an advantage for them. Gets onto the point so quickly, and there's a Dread Serpent. I don't mind that. ElZulu again with a huge hook, but a great bubble in response by WarDoom, and now Kusqt's in this fight with safety. If they can pull ElZulu out of it, they could have a chance. Rovaniik takes iDropBodies, but he misses the hook, and that is what has got Kusqt out of these fights. Will things change now that the Dragon is in the air consistently? That hook could come back to haunt the entire team. PrinceDannyTV takes down dousupz, but again, Kusqt is still alive, and he is on a rampage. 290 health. Grapple is still here. WarDoom turn around, but he has not been able to. Kusqt gets the kill, and again, this Dragon has been the issue when he's not in this fight. Astral Authority have lost, and now Rovaniik here to finish him off, but Vex 30 finishes off the King.
Back in action is PrinceDanny here. 3. There's the Hyper Beam. zone. Everyone off. The overtime is going to be reset, though. The resilience buy was good enough, but doesupz take him down. Grapple is now back and forth. This team fight continues to rage on.
This is ridiculous. Overtime still ticking away. Bob King trying to make his way back to the point, but PrinceDannyTV all the while is free firing. The Hyper Beam doesn't matter, but the Dragon Punch, it certainly will. Is it going to find anyone? It doesn't. The Immortal comes out from Fernando. He's actually down. That didn't happen, excuse me. But you know what did happen? WarDoom picks up the kill, and he's actually going to fall to Grapple and Bubble Boy in response. Overtime still here.
But it's AGG that come out on top of that bloodbath brawl back and forth. I don't even know what just happened. That was like 3 or 4 waves of full respawns that just came to the slaughter, and somehow AGG find themselves on top.
It became such a mess. And I think, you know, when you looked at it, I mean, we were even looking at, wow, how are they surviving these? You look at Dragon Punch coming through, you assume the Immortal goes off to save him, but it's at 73%. Kusqt just missed. He missed twice.
That's a big one.
I mean, that's not normal of Kus. But you also look at what was the big decider there, Kus. Because when ElZulu got the hook onto him, fights were over. But when he stayed alive, that's what draw that overtime. That's what made that so tight.
I'm like 95% sure that he went for Rovaniik, because Rovaniik was the healthiest target that had just come in. But the Poppy Bomb build, you saw how much distance Rovaniik was clearing with that. That is more than enough to get you out of range of the Dragon Punch. So that's likely what happened. We didn't get to see it exactly there because we were just caught up in all of the chaos. You know, Kusqt still finding 144,000 damage. doesupz still finding 133,000 and 117 for bodies, but it just wasn't enough in the end.
PrinceDannyTV too with a great roll in at the end with Fernando Grapple coming in. They bursted down. It was Vex, and I believe it was doesupz as well. They bursted them down to about 30% health with those shots, the fireball and the blast shot coming out from Cassie, and it just changed the dynamic of the fight. That is definitely one for the ages. Fish Market is going to set up the final map for this series, a best of 5 between these two teams. The formerly match point with Kusqt, doesupz, and WarDoom transferred over to Astral Authority with Vex, and looking to finish off AGG here on Fish Market. It's pretty incredible.
That was almost a 24-minute game. That's like one of the longest games Paladins I've ever seen. Well, that was crazy.
Ice Minds, you know, it tends to do it.
It'll do that. It'll do it to you.
Gives us the best games that we can get. It's a lot of fun. It's tight. I know the teams don't necessarily like it, but it's rare you see a 2-0 push come back to be a 3-3 tie at the end.
Crazy way, fighting their way back 1 point at a time. AGG, Drogos, Damba, will it continue to be the trend here for these two teams? And it lost. Drogos, Damba lost again.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I don't know. I think your frontliner is now just being, because Torvald is in there, it's being a little bit more countered. Like, your damage is a little safer. You know, you can work around your damage more. I think now picking Torvald early,
Damba, Fernando,
it leaves some counter opportunities open here. Damba, Fernando is open. Astral Authority have done well with Torvald, and so they take the Eevee here. Kusqt had a great game on him again.
But again, that's so early to me. I feel like, you know, AGG haven't picked it. It's been available every game except when Astral Authority have picked it, and you pick it third? I don't know if I agree with that. I think that's a little early for me.
To me, this says, well, I feel like I didn't have my rhythm. I feel like I was playing Drogos all right, but I didn't hit the big moments that I wanted. I'd rather play Eevee. To me, that's honestly what that says. Because Drogos was available as well. I mean, he was their first pick last game. Why would you not pick him up again? I feel like they have the counter now. McCole was wrecking him. He's just like, I feel like Cuz is just saying, I'd rather play Eevee right now. And we did better with Eevee. The lineups that we're going with work well with Eevee to take attention off of our frontliners. Grottos is more of a liability for us. And Maeve, certainly coming into the last game here, will mix things up and create some room for them to stop looking at the front line. I tell you that.
Is this a pocket pick right now? Was this Astral Authority saving this for a rainy day? The Bomb King is the final pick for AGG.
Rainy day? Rain day? Rain day?
Close
I don't know.
Enough.
We'll
Close,
see.
But no cigar. Only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Oh man, that's old school, man.
And they don't pick the Torvald either. I mean, it's not bad on Fish Market, and it's really good with Maeve.
It is. And I'm excited to see doesupz play this as well. You know, he goes from the Shaolin. We're seeing Walk It Off 4 and Street Cred 4 getting picked up here. where we've seen a lot of different things. Shred 4 has been something very common with us. We see Savagery as well, healing off of Pounce, not going for any heals off of Pounce, in fact, and he's just going to take it all when he's actually out of combat or getting to his next target when he's using that movement skill Prowl.
And this is a team that I think is pretty susceptible to this flank pressure from Kus and from doesupz. You know, Cassie and Shaolin in the backline are going to be struggling to deal with this, and Maeve Shaolin, you know, obviously assuming that Shaolin just doesn't impale Planted your face off, it's a good matchup for Maeve. She stays above him. You know, just double jumping above somebody's head is very difficult, especially for a Shaolin where every shot counts for so much. Every shot buys you so much more time to stay alive if you're doesupz.
This is tough for Rovaniik here as well. Rovaniik, though, with the Bomb King matchup, can be very, very strong against Maeve. She wants to fight close. She wants to jump up and double jump in the air. Bomb King's bombs, they're going to be able to just explode
low targets
right there. But this is just looking like a feast for doesupz.
No,
He's going to be able to hit it. Dashes into the bomb, gets blown up by Bubble Boy, and the help from Fernando on the side. He is so low over there, but they don't want to aggress. They've got the point. They've got 60%. Astral Authority looking in command yet again in the early part of these games.
I mean, that was such a crazy, you know, you put yourselves in the situation to call the communications there, where it looked, Prince Danny sees doesupz running away, but immediate 180, and that fight just turns around. It's so much different. doesupz, he's calling for him to be out of the fight, and all of a sudden he's back in it. Finds some kills here. Prince Danny in the squad able to fight their way back, though. 90% for Astral Authority. A small window is all they need to take this payload away.
Shutting Maeve down for just a moment is the counter to her. Can you do it? That Grumpy Bomb is going to be so important to King Bombs as well. Rovaniik's made a big impact on his Bomb King. Will he continue to do so? 63%, but AGG look to maybe pull back and focus on the Maeve here. Grapple finishes off doesupz. Shaolin gets the better of that trade now. Grumpy Bomb's going in and just giving him a little bit of space, and he stuns too. He ends up taking down the shield of iDropBodies. Will he end up finishing it? No, Bodies with the DPS to do it, but Bubble Boy here is going to finish off Bodies in return. Will WarDoom get the kill on the Grapple, though? He goes withdrawn, and he's stealth, and he stays alive.
Dimensional Link all the way out and back in. WarDoom falls down at the end, but doesupz picks up Grapple. doesupz with a double kill. Giant Bubble Boy going down. 93%. There's the Grumpy Bomb onto the point here. Overtime has been ticking through. Everyone needs to find their way out, and getting stunned out has been such a big downfall of Bodies in this game. Midnight is popped in, so none of the AGG reinforcements are going to be able to know where they're going.
Absolutely huge, and that means Astral Authority will get this capture objective. That was clutch. That is what Maeve brings to the table. You talk about damage, you talk about being able to go to the back line and finish off targets, but Midnight, so imperative. They do have the Cassie for AGG though, Nick, but she falls shortly thereafter, and she is not going to be able to impact the vision for them right now.
Look at that burst, following up off the Makoa hook. That's over 2,000 burst damage with that combination there. 2 knives from Maeve is 900, 600 off the Pounce, 1,100 after the hook. And here's the 1v1. Just dodges the Planet, uses the Prowl to rotate back into the fight. 4 seconds on Prowl, but she eats a shot after the withdrawal stealth, so just gonna have to use that to reposition, but doesn't have the time.
You know, Rovaniik and Bomb King, they're great at dealing with low health targets because their damage hits so hard, and they can confirm it in either long distance, short distance, and be able to have an area in the case of Bomb King that he could just control, exploding them right in front of him. If he gets to your face, the mobility he's built in with this Jolt card and his Poppy Bomb accelerant, it's going to make a big difference, and it has already. He's in midair, but that is going to spawn the Ancient Rage from Makoa, and now the push is successful.
Wow.
But this is the same story we saw in Ice Mines.
No Grumpy Bomb there to zone out or do anything there. The Grumpy Bomb cooldown was sitting ready to go. It didn't throw it out whatsoever. The Ancient Rage was big, though. That was a nice bait from WarDoom. He had 2 or 3 people on him and just was able to heal himself up to full with the Ancient Rage. doesupz going for the kill to heal, too, so this allows him to snowball in the backline. And I love this pickup, and I'm going to tell you why. Prince Danny, Wrecker, Rovaniik, Wrecker, Grapple, Wrecker. None of them have Cauterize to shut this down. Bubble Boy is the only one that can even stem the tide of sustain coming out from this Maeve right now, and that is so huge. So much of what Maeve wants to do is go all in on you and use her sustain to guarantee her getting a kill, and no Cauterizes to shut this down is going to be a big problem, especially with kill to heal. Kill to heal is going to destroy destroy AGG in this situation.
Will doesupz be able to find the rhythm, though? This is a little bit less, I think, a dominant performance as we saw yesterday in EU with Spunky, but doesupz, he's ready to turn on the switch at any moment. You cannot count him out, and already he's just distracting them. They cannot turn their back around. Otherwise, they're going to take 2 knives into it. That's what Maeve brings to the table. The versus here misses the dash, unfortunately, has to reactivate 9 lives. 18-second cooldown for him. He's going to double jump, try to find PrinceDannyTV, hits 2 knives. That's huge, but misses the dash again. Unlike Spunky yesterday, you know, we're seeing doesupz kind of miss some of these clutch plays that makes Maeve so dangerous when pulled off.
That's 100% just on doesupz. You cannot miss pounce. It's not even that hard to hit. It's got a big hitbox coming in, and you know, it's not even like Prince Danny's hitting these reactionary dodge rolls or anything. Those were just raw misses, and AGG just find the payload off the back of that. So much is going to rely, you know, they've all picked up record. They've all committed to just dismantling this double front line from Astral Authority. It's on doesupz. He has to use this kill. He has to snowball in the back line. He has to wipe them all and get them off of the front liners.
I mean, then you're not even talking about that. You're talking about 600 credits that could be better spent somewhere else. That now, actually 900 credits that he's got to better spend somewhere else that he's not getting any advantage of. He gets no kills. It's not going to happen. And so he's not found his rhythm quite yet. But AGG certainly have. A minute, 52 seconds left here. Rovaniik up in the air, poppy bombing his man Makoa away. And finally, doesupz gets a kill. He's going to be healthy. Looking for his next target here in the back with Bubble Boy, trying to search him out.
Prince Danny and Bubble Boy staying close together. Midnight is ready to go. 1 knife will connect there, but everyone doing a good job staying clumped up together, not making it super easy for doesupz to get in there and try and find these pickoffs. Will he pop the Midnight here? AGG are far enough away from the payload, I think, where it's not completely necessary.
Rovaniik made him run away. doesupz does not look to like this Bomb King matchup. Rovaniik just playing at a high level here, and doesupz again elects to run away. And I don't mind this. Sometimes
it's like a 1v4.
You know, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, look there, doesupz finally.
He's going to take that 10 times out of 10.
Finally picks up the kill, gets up into the air. It's so hard for Bomb King to reactionarily deal with that damage. And now 1,300 health. He's still got room to go. Prowl is going to help him heal up here, but he's going to actually jump out of Prowl whenever he does an action.
Needs that kill. There's
he gets a kill, but he dies immediately.
Need a lot of health to survive. Even 1 shot from Bomb King. 900 coming through there. That kill to heal 2 is just not going to be enough. An aggressive poppy bomb, but finding the shots over the top. Bubble Boy combining. That's damage you can't scoff at either. Ying hits for about 700 every time she connects with all 5 ticks of her laser beam, and AGG once again they get this payload push off the ground. You
know, shouts out to Bubble Boy here for keeping it real with Ying, because you know sometimes you sleep on the damage that she can do, and the fact that he's able to continuously support Rovaniik, who's jumping in, getting Ruckus to look up into the air and then not pay attention to the consistent, silent but deadly damage coming out from the support, and again staying on the objective, keeping his teammates healthy. The Midnight actually gets activated by doesupz, and this is time for him to go in. Activates the Prowl, looks for 1, 2 knives into PrinceDannyTV, but he's going to back away. Planet comes out from Shaolin. He's baited a lot of stuff, but he's had to use his cooldowns as well. So now he's in a very bad spot to be able to affect this fight.
Everything there. ElZulu around the corner though, able to be taken out. And a nice dash, nice angle with that pounce. And you know, we're talking a lot about doesupz, but Kusqt's been pretty quiet on this EV as well. Here comes the snowball though with the kill to heal. The damage is not enough though. Bubble Boy taken out. The 1v1. That's it. This is the round right now. Kusqt versus Grapple on this Shaolin. Just buying the time there. Finds a shot in the end regardless. Astral Authority come away with the defense here. Now up 3-1 because of their 2-0 conversion in the first round.
That was a nice shot, man. That was very, very strong. Astral Authority put in the driver's seat here, and AGG find themselves in a similar position. This is exactly how Ice Mines played out. But Astral Authority looking, I think, a little bit more confident, and there's a lot less room. There's a little bit more room for error here. There's a couple more flame routes to get in. They've got Maeve, who's not going to get really zoned out very well. They have another plan
except Hyper Beam.
Exactly, and despite not having Torvald on their squad, this could be the end.
So leading the damage right now. Kusqt at about 36k there. That's where the flankers spring in, but Makoa actually staying ahead of her for the time being. Everyone pretty close, pretty tight in the pack, except Grapple on this Shaolin. And He just hasn't been feeling as much heat. Kusqt and doesupz should be shredding this backline right now. Both of them have been relatively quiet. No huge plays coming out of either flanker.
Kusqt doing a great job getting into the backline, doing a lot of damage. They still don't know where he is. He's going to soar up to the top, and now he's going to put pressure onto Cassie. Nice! Ice Storm is going to make sure that they can't move anywhere. Almost hits one shot, but PrinceDannyTV actually able to get out of it and wins the 1v1 and takes an ultimate from Kusqt in the process. AGG are continually winning these initial point fights, and it is just because of outplays on their side.
Pounce in on nothing once again. Pops the 9 lives to get out and just nothing. These full kit rotations are coming out from doesupz, and he's getting nothing for it. He gets beaten the 1v1 by PrinceDanny as well.
I mean, nothing against PrinceDannyTV though. I mean, he's playing lights out. He's dealt with an Ice Storm from Eevee. He dealt with a full, on attack from her, and Kusqt's playing well. doesupz comes in, gets taken down as well.
Maeve is designed to kill Cassie though. She's designed to win these 1v1s with the squishier characters in the backline. So much effective sustain in her kit. PrinceDanny doesn't have a Cauterize. All he's got is the blast shot healing reduction. That it's not. He shouldn't be winning these 1v1s in the backline.
And maybe this is part of the deck that he's running, because he's getting his healing, he's getting his sustain. Not in these fights. I mean, an extra 500 health, 600 health almost by taking Prowl Savagery 4 is a big difference in a fight with a Cassie. That's basically one shot that you can survive, and that gives you a second to throw some more knives or do anything. Pounce, get away. He's running it all on the sustain. The second he starts firing knives from Prowl, that healing stops. So effectively, he's not as sustaining in these 1v1s as most of the Yings we've seen. Excuse me, the Maves we've seen.
Spotting out the Rovaniik rotation around the back here, going for the big flank, but gets midnighted out, just immediately reconnects with the team. Master Riding 2, just going on the Tour de France, the Tour de Fishing Village here.
Tour de Bonking.
Rovaniik not finding anything with that rotation though. Gets back to his team safely, however, so nothing gained, nothing lost.
Bomb King ultimate still available. He's really focusing iDropBodies. Rovaniik doing a great job of just target selection. Almost feels like doesupz kind of trying to find who's available, maybe not having exactly the plan in mind, going the way that I think Rovaniik is really sticking to his ideals here. He's a man that's hanging with his faith. He's all about killing Ruckus, and he is doing that at a great job. He sees Kusqt though, and that Eevee is a bit of a delectable treat he just can't pass up. But now the zone continues to happen, looking to get a little bit of action on this payload push.
King Bomb is ready to go here. PrinceDanny and Rovaniik will just elect to back off for the time being. The payload now coming up on about halfway through. The zone is holding strong though, and Maldamba not able to land that stun, but Grapple is finding his way dead anyway.
Rovaniik showcasing his Bomb King skills, actually hits the flag there. Probably not what he intended to do. He's gonna Poppy Bomb away, get some Ying clone healing thanks to Bubble Boy there, but WarDoom will pick him up. Finally a hook onto the Bomb King, and they're gonna get him down. This could spell a snowball. This kill to heal now is going to be hopefully impactful for him. 982 health. One shot from Shaolin could be very dangerous here. He's gonna get the pounce, but doesn't get any healing off of it. He gets the 600 back from kill to heal 2. And the defense is successful. We
gotta see something change from Astral Authority here. The Maeve and the Eevee are not getting done on their own, so maybe we see just WarDoom landing hooks, and then Maeve just waiting to follow up whoever gets hooked. That's so much burst damage. It's a free kill. Something's got to change here, because Astral Authority is not hitting the mark on these last 2-point fights.
They haven't found a rhythm, and they just haven't found their target. I mean, you see Rovaniik, the reason I brought him up is he's got such a clear game plan. He just kills Ruckus, and he focuses down the tank shields, he Poppy Bombs, and if he sees Kusqt or if he sees Maeve, he finishes him off with one bomb. 900 changes that entire fight. doesupz and Kusqt need to have that same type of mentality here, running out with them, knowing this could be game point, this could be set point. Otherwise, they let AGG with a chance to win here. They need to adjust their strategy. And who do they go for?
Anyone. Bomb King. You can burst down Cassie, you can burst down Bomb King, you can burst down Ying, you can burst down Shaolin. Anyone off the back of a hook with the Maeve follow-up, even an Eevee throwing a shot in there wouldn't hurt.
He's almost dead. Over in the corner, he is dead. Bubble Boy takes down doesupz. I don't know why you dash into that. Why would you get off your mount and use your cooldowns, force your 9 lives early? It just didn't seem like the most optimal play. Obviously, he's seeing something we're not. Maybe just prioritize getting there as fast as possible. WarDoom now in a bit of an issue. He does take down Grapple, but the Shaolin is just proving to be too strong, as well as the Bomb King and doesupz activating cooldowns like Prowl very, very early and using them, not having them in these fights.
69% already for AGG. Here's another 1v1. Off to the side here, King Bomb coming in. Midnight is trying to shut down. Doesn't find anyone with the King Bomb, but Bubble Boy takes down DropBodies before losing his vision. And doesupz still running around looking for something, looking for anything in the backline here. 93% and AGG total control of this point.
93% now going for AGG. doesupz is still alive, trying to make a difference. Kusqt as well. Could they snowball this? It'll be a lot to do. They can definitely stall this payload push and give iDropBodies a chance. One big shot here could help take down the Fernando. ElZulu still alive. They missed the shot off of Soar, and overtime looks to tick away. The healing's gonna certainly make a big impact now, and it does not give WarDoom the chance to swing that fight again. Fernando's down. It's Cassie and Ying with a Makoa coming back and an Eevee. They win that fight. That changes the game right there.
And again, the flankers from Astral Authority not finding any kills, both of them falling down relatively early in these fights. doesupz isn't getting a lot of value out of his pounce, out of his prowls, out of his 9 lives. It's just like, it's almost that frustration popping these things, and then he's just running around, not getting it done.
And Nick, you know, you say he's got to go to anybody, but you know, sometimes it's not that simple, right? I mean, there's a lot of things these players are thinking about.
Run distraction, get anyone off of your frontliners at this point.
That's the thing too. It's almost like they're not even paying attention to him. They're not paying attention to him until it becomes like, okay, we can kill you now, or like PrinceDannyTV takes 2 shots and he's like, all right, I'm getting hit by Maeve now. All right, let me go ahead and win this 1v1. They're not like they're not worried. They're not running around turning their heads.
They're not playing a
reason
to be worried.
Exactly, and that is the issue. Maeve, you're right, running distraction, but that distraction isn't really relevant here. This could be the game, Nick. This Grumpy Bomb's gonna zone. It's gonna stun out, and the killing spree is there for Rovaniik. He could snowball this fight for them. AGG have so close to go in order to be the victors here, but doesupz with a great shot in midair is gonna secure this. They gotta get down PrinceDannyTV, but no, ElZulu finishes off the kill. This is gonna be Team AGG getting the final push, the victory, and the set, moving on to the finals over Astral Authority.
Just nothing there from Maeve or Eevee. I feel like just lackluster performances from the flankers. I mean, I can't wait to see Bomb King's damage. Bomb King was just bodying. In the first round, we saw a little bit of it. He was commanding attention, right? He was getting the frontliners, getting the Cassie, getting the Shaolin to pay attention to the Maeve in the back line, but then, you know, no kills came. Next round, same thing. Didn't kill anyone, so they were just like, all right, we'll just ignore him and we'll kill his frontliners here. 103,000 damage for PrinceDanny, 78,000 for the Bomb King, and 99,000 damage for Shaolin.
You know, we've given these guys so much praise throughout their careers here at the esports scene. I think it's safe to say this was not their brightest day. And AGG, however, you know, it's been a long time coming for them to have kind of their moment in the sun in the finals. PrinceDannyTV played absolutely phenomenally. You know, and I think we have to talk about how he was winning these 1v1s against Maeve. Probably a matchup he shouldn't have won, and despite how maybe doesupz wasn't feeling himself.
New character, I mean,
yeah, absolutely, that's the risk you take.
It's a new character versus a comfort pick.
But, you know, Danny showed up. Danny showed up. And I do want to give a shout out to him. He had 100,000 damage. I mean, he knocked it out of the park, and Rovaniik as well. But I really am appreciative of the way ElZulu can go from, you know, having an impact play here on the Makoa and then going on to the Fernando, still having a big impact, staying alive in that last point fight to make sure the Ying and the Cassie had support. You know, I mean, there's just so many people on AGG that I think really perform well, and I'm really excited for them to be playing against who they face in the finals, man.
Absolutely, and hopefully they were running their boosters, because those games are going to be worth a lot of XP, those 23, 24-minute games.
Baby.
Snag them while they're hot, 25% off of those. Get your gold stockpile going for Season 1. All of that stuff is going to be very, very important into the coming weeks.
Exciting stuff here on the Paladins esports scene. We're ready to wrap this side. We got the other side of the bracket we'll take care of, and we also have the finals coming up after that. AGG make it in this side. Who's going to make it in on the other side? Wait and see. Be right back.